In this session, I wanted to talk about LinkedIn and how you use LinkedIn to win commercial contracts. So LinkedIn is, I'm getting lots and lots of questions from people asking how to build a commercial side of their business. So whether it's people setting up commercial cleaning businesses, whether it's people switching from residential to commercial. So before we jump into actually using LinkedIn, I just wanted to cover off why it is so challenging to build commercial. And the primary reason is this first point here is something called the sales cycle. So the long sales cycle refers to the fact that if you are contacting, say, office managers today, say you contact 100 office managers today, a very small percentage of those office managers will actually be in a position ready to buy your service today and get started straight away. The reality is that most people are not ready to buy now. They will have a commercial cleaning company in place to begin with. Maybe they've got an annual contract. That contract only comes up for renewal every year. So the issue is that you could be building relationships, contacting lots of people today, but you may not see the fruits of that labor until 6, 9, 12 months down the line. So this is obviously very different to residential. If you're running a residential cleaning business, then people are ready to buy today. They can get you in and book you in and you can start tomorrow. So this is why building the commercial cleaning business is very challenging. You may be in a lucky position that you have some referrals at the beginning. Maybe you're in a lucky position that someone has just messaged you out of the blue to say, do you know any office cleaning companies in the area? So you may get a couple to begin with, but then to get consistency and the consistent number of leads and a consistent number of jobs afterwards, that's going to be far more challenging. And this is where most people start, is this number 2 here. So cold calling is where I started. It can absolutely work, but most people don't see that because cold calling works, but only at scale. So if you expect to make 10 cold calls today and to get a client out of it, that's not going to happen. You need to be making, say out of 100 calls, maybe at some stage in the future, maybe 1 or 2 of those calls will turn into quotation meetings and actual jobs, but they may not happen today or tomorrow. They may be people getting back in touch with you saying 3 or 6 months down the line. So cold calling can work, it can work, but it only works if you're doing enough of them at scale. But the secondary point is the biggest point for me. So it can quickly get demoralizing, being told no, being put on hold, being passed from person to person. Recipients of cold calls aren't generally, very happy to have received those calls in the first place. So cold calling, whether it's you as the business owner or someone else within your company doing that cold calling, can quickly get demoralizing, and it's very easy to give up. So by all means, if you're building commercial, you want to be doing some cold calling, but really point 3 is where I ask the question. So what's the solution? The way that I teach it within my coaching program is that we want to think about the commercial business, building the commercial side of the business as a way to build and invest in client relationships. So the idea here is that we acknowledge that most clients aren't ready in a position to buy today. So how do we approach it? The way we approach it is by to continually build the number of potential clients that we have, and it's to invest in those client relationships. So, for example, say if you meet someone for the first time, the idea would be that you maybe drop them an email in a few weeks' time, or you maybe try and jump on a call and find out a bit more about how you can help. Maybe you send them a helpful document on cleaning practices in their office, sanitization, things like that. The idea is that every single valuable contact you have with these people, this is an opportunity to further cement these client relationships. And the idea ultimately is that if these potential clients have an existing cleaning company in place, at the end of that contract, if it's an annual contract, they're very likely to invite you in for a quotation meeting. There's no cost to them really, but obviously it's an opportunity for you to go in and do that. So by investing in these client relationships, it keeps our cleaning company front of mind, so that when that contract does come up for renewal, that we are there and able to come in for a quotation meeting. So as we won't win every quote, every job that we quote for, but if we're consistently starting to get some leads coming through, some quotation requests coming through, a percentage of those will turn to jobs, and this is how we start to build momentum within the cleaning business. So I wanted to firstly just start off with that, because this is a challenge that many people at the startup stage have. And really the solution is in my view LinkedIn. It's an untapped resource. Many people, the majority of your competitors, won't be doing it. So it's an opportunity for us to step in and establish ourselves as the premium, the specialist company for them. So I just wanted to open this before we go into actually using LinkedIn. What I'll quickly do is, given the tech issues, I'll just jump into Facebook. Hey guys, hey Megan, hey Miss Lee. Just answer these questions. What do you think about using sites like Angie's List or Taskrabbit to get leads? So, these sort of lead websites, they get, very strong views either way. Really, the way I tell people is that if you are using lead sites like this, you want to only buy those leads that are very new. So you want to get back to people very quickly. You want to get them on the phone, because it's far easier to build rapport, answer questions with people on the phone than by email. People will often just ask for a price or an idea of pricing or price per square foot or those sorts of things. So these lead sites can work. They get a very bad press from many people, but really, the approach should be the same approach with any marketing channel you use, and that should be put a set amount of money into the marketing channel, see how many quotation meetings you get out of it, how many jobs you get out of it. But the reality is, if you just even get one commercial job that can be worth thousands of dollars a month, this can often just pay for it completely. So, rather than completely dismissing it, as many people do, puts X $100 into it and see what you get out of that. So hopefully that answers your question, Miss Lee. Let me just jump straight back into the presentation. So as I said here, LinkedIn is really, in my view, the premium commercial cleaning relationship building tool. So many, and that is the way you want to be thinking about it. You don't want to be thinking theLinkedIn allows me to sell, because people will put up a guard and a barrier, and there's no way to build a relationship. So the relationship here is really using LinkedIn as a way to establish rapport, establish a relationship, and keep those relationships warm, so that when an opportunity does arise for you to quote on your, for a particular job, that you're front of mind and you get brought in. So this first point, cold calling on steroids, is something that I believe in, because cold calling, there is lots of wasted time calling people, getting put on hold, getting transferred, getting told to call back, whereas LinkedIn minimizes this waste very effectively, because essentially you can easily find your potential clients by using the Sales Navigator search tool. You can find potential clients in your area. You can look at the types of companies by industry, by size. There are lots and lots of different ways. So you are more effectively using your time to narrow in on those potential clients that are a real fit with your business. So LinkedIn allows you to minimize a huge amount of time. So what I'll do here, is I'll jump onto Sales Navigator. So Sales Navigator is basically the search tool that allows us to quickly hone in on who these potential clients, who they are, how many they are, and how we might try to engage with them. So I'll jump into Sales Navigator now. So for those of you that not used Sales Navigator before, this is, don't worry too much about this information, but let's take the example. So let's put in Office Manager and just use this as a way to sort of get started. As we load this up, so what you can see here is I have gone into Sales Navigator, the LinkedIn search tool. I've typed in Office Manager, and this brings up the results for every single person signed up with LinkedIn who has Office Manager somewhere within their profile. And you can see it's a very generic term. We've got over 28 million results. This is all around the world. So, really this is step one of, looking at, potential clients in your area. So the approach with Sales Navigator should be a way of going from an extremely very broad funnel and narrowing right down so that you've got a more manageable list of, say, a few hundred who are people within your area, people within your target, whatever your client, your target client looks like. It could be the size of the company, it could be the industry, and you want to narrow this right down, get a more manageable group of a few hundred, and then that is when you go about trying to then start contacting them and building relationships with them. So what I've done here is let's just take an example. So let's say we are looking for office managers, and then we'll click geography. Let's go with Boston in the US. So Boston, Massachusetts. So let this load up. So you can see straight away by going for Office Manager and going for Boston, we've gone down from 28 million down to 75,000 results. So a huge drop off in there. So we've started, that sort of funneling in effect. So if I am a Boston-based commercial cleaning business and I am looking for office managers within the Boston area, this is the exhaustive list. This is the exhaustive list of people on LinkedIn who are office managers in Boston. So in theory, this gives us the entire potential market of people to go after on LinkedIn. So 75,000 is still a large number of people. So let's try and drill this down a bit more. So another way to do it is by looking at the company headcount. So you can go after offices or companies with lots of people, or you can go after smaller. And you can see here company headcount, we've got, big companies in the thousands, we've got smaller ones. So let's say we have decided that our niche within the commercial cleaning space is that we want to be going after companies with 0 to 50 people within the business. And let's see how this drills down. So we've gone straight away from 75,000 results down to 14,000 results here. So again, we've drilled this down, and just scrolling through here, you can see there's some quite interesting people. And the reason we go after office managers rather than, say, the managing director or the president is that within these office spaces, often the office manager will be the person that manages the cleaning company, the janitorial service that comes into cleaning. If you scroll down here, you can see that there's some interesting profiles down here. So Jennifer Adamson, office manager at Phoenix Tissue Repair, Gemini Physical Therapy. These like medical companies here. Office manager at Boston Common Asset Management. This looks like a finance company. So the next way we can go about things is that we can also look at the industry. So I'm sort of doing this all on the fly, but let's say we are going after financial services because what an assumption we've made is that financial services companies have more money to spend on cleaning companies. So that's where we want to target. So you can see that 14,000 has come right down to 644 results. So this is where things start to get really interesting, because as you scroll down here, you'll see that there are some interest. This person here, office manager at New Frontier Advisors, this Cara DeVito, we've got some interesting people here. So contrast this with, say, a cold call effort where you've got a big list of companies in your area, calling up the switchboard, the receptionist, trying to find out who manages the cleaning company that they work with, all that wasted time. Whereas you can use Sales Navigator, LinkedIn, and get this information straight away. So one of the things to say, just as a quick diversion, is obviously Sales Navigator isn't a free tool. It costs about $100 a month, and it is really a no-brainer to be paying $100 a month for this, because even if you get one client that pays you, say, $1,000 a month, you've already made 10x your money. So this is a really, really low monthly cost for the potential to get clients on here. And obviously all the wasted time you save by using this as well. So as you can see, hopefully, what we've done here is just gone through an example. If we were a Boston-based commercial cleaning company, we've decided that the financial services sector is the one that we want to focus on. We've decided that financial services companies with between 0 and 50 headcount is where we want to focus on, because that's where our experience is. And if that is the case, this would be the initial list that you look at. And this 644 is a good number of people. And the approach would then be to go through these people, methodically, and try to figure out, actually, is this person, a good fit for what we do? So let's just take an example, and let's have a look in, this first one here, this Amy, half a male. So what you can see is that once we go from here, we go to something called the profile. This is a profile within Sales Navigator, so it looks slightly different to the LinkedIn page, but it's the same information. And really, the profile page just gives you a bit more background about this person, this potential client. And the idea is that you want to figure out, are they a potential client or are they not? Is the company the right fit for us or not? So we're using this just to gather a bit more information. So she's been at this company level ATS for 3 years, 3 months. We can see she's got some experience in the investment management industry, which is a part of the financial services industry. So, looking down here, it's just a bit more information on here. What we can do as well is that we can also go to look at her profile on LinkedIn, which is this view on LinkedIn, and just have a look at her LinkedIn page. And what you'll see is it's exactly the same information, but you can as we wait here, you can also see something that's called all activity. And this just gives you a feel of, what, the posts tell you what she's posting about. The all activity shows you what things she's liking, engaging in, and it just gives you a really good feel of who this potential client is. So if we can spend a few minutes, just figuring out, yes, this person is a potential client for us, or no, she isn't, then that saves you a huge amount of time rather than doing the equivalent on cold calling. So really, this is, a very quick run through of how we want to think about using LinkedIn. So what I'll do, I'll just quickly jump into Facebook just to make sure that we've, with all the tech glitches that people can still hear us. Hey Tapan, hope you're well. As I said, you guys leave me a question in Facebook or on Zoom if you've got questions as I go along with this. So really, that is just a quick run through of what Sales Navigator is. As I said, it is $100 a month, an absolute no-brainer. Given the fact that you can get large commercial contracts from this. So this is the way that we go about trying to find targets, so potential client targets. So what do we do next? And really, for those of you that don't know LinkedIn, LinkedIn is obviously a business social network, and it works in a very similar way to a Facebook. So you can send friend requests or connection requests, and people can accept you, people can decline you. But really, the idea is you want to, once you've got a list of potential clients that you like the look of, you want to send them, out of this list, you want to be going through it. When you go through them, you want to then send the ones that you think are really interesting a connection request. And, some of those people will accept, some people won't. Don't feel offended or don't feel hard done by if someone doesn't accept your connection request. Most people won't, but those that do, by accepting your connection request, they are at least showing some indication that they are interested in what you do. So, before they accept a connection request, they can also look at your profile. We'll have a look at profiles and things in a few minutes. But the fact that they accept your connection request is sort of opening the door slightly. It's saying, yes, I'm potentially interested in finding out a bit more about what you say. Once you have a connection request accepted, then the idea is to try to have a natural conversation. This is where many people fall down, because as soon as they get a connection request, the first message they'll send will be, I'm cleaning company XYZ, I clean offices just like yours, we have the lowest prices, can we come in for a quotation meeting? And if you do that to 100 people, 99% of them will not answer you. One of those people will say, don't waste my time. And, so you will get nowhere with that sort of approach. And this is where most people go wrong with, LinkedIn. The idea and the way I teach it in my coaching program is that we want to try to have a natural conversation. So really what we want to try to do is just to have a natural conversation. Don't pitch, don't talk about sales too much. And this is where I guess the secret sauce comes in, is how do we have a natural conversation with someone we've never met? And this is when we look to someone's profile. This is when we look through to see if they've done something in, maybe you've gone to maybe the high school, or maybe you've gone to look at their profile and looked at their activity page. Maybe they've commented on a post that you think is quite interesting as well. Or maybe they have done a video that you've liked. Really what you're trying to do is to look at their profile, look at their activity, and use that as a way to initiate a conversation. Because you want to be thinking about it the same way as you would, say going to a dinner party that, with people that you've never met, or a networking event that you've, never met some people at. How do you open up a conversation? You don't do it by saying, I do X, Y, and Z. Do you have any business for me? It's, great to meet you. How's your day been going? Have you been coming to the BNI, these meetings much? Where you're based in town? Try to make it very natural, like you would do in a face-to-face environment. And if you use that approach, then you'll start to have some natural conversations. So again, some people will not want to have those conversations. Some people are happy to engage. And really the idea is that once you've had a bit of a back and forth, it will naturally come up. The person you're speaking to will ask more about what you do. They've already accepted your connection request. You're having a bit of a conversation with them. You've not pitched straight away to begin with, so that's a good sign for them. So it will naturally come across. And what you'll find is that out of say 100 conversations, a percentage of those will be good conversations, where there's a back and forth. A percentage of those will actually turn into phone calls where you get on the phone, and that's a further opportunity to build rapport. And really the idea is that what we're trying to do is build and invest in client relationships. This is our primary way to grow the commercial side of our business. So if we are sending connection requests every day, if we are having conversations with people every day, not necessarily now, but in a few months' time, that effort will come to fruition, because we will start to be asked to provide quotations, come for a quotation meeting. And if we're getting a certain number of quotations through, obviously a certain percentage of those will turn into jobs as well. And that really is the approach we want to be thinking about in terms of, LinkedIn. So, that is how we sort of identify potential clients. That is how we sort of initiate these conversations. The final point here, optimizing your profile and posting content regularly are further ways to reinforce that. And the idea is that your profile is, let's go to mine. So I've got here, this is obviously my cleaning business coaching profile. But say if you were, a commercial cleaning business in Boston, this image here would be, an image of your cleaning techs at work in branded uniforms, looking really professional, maybe at an office site. Your description here would be specialist office cleaning company, serving the Boston area. You get the idea, and then you want to be filling out your profile. I've got lots of my testimonials in this section here. There's an about section here, which is where you can fill out a bit more about the specific services you offer your cleaning for your clients. Maybe you've got testimonials, maybe you talk about insurance, all those sorts of things. The profile really is a powerful way for people who don't know who you are when they are at that connection request level to check you out before deciding if they accept or not. So if you've got a completely empty profile, they're less likely to accept. If you've got a profile that speaks directly to their business, if they're an office cleaning company in Boston with 0 to 50 employees, and that's what you talk about, this is what you say you specialize in doing, they're going to be more interested to read through. They'll read your testimonials, they'll look at your about section, they'll look at some of your recent posts. So this is a way to turbocharge, the number of people that engage with what you do. So the profile section is really important. And then, as I showed you on this other person that we were looking at, the activity, from us as cleaning company owners is a way, this allows us to post content. You can post that every day, twice a week, 3 times a week, as often as you want. But the idea is that if people see you posting regularly, that is a way to keep you, your business front of mind. And this bit is really, really important, because say you connected with someone, an office manager, today, and you had a bit of a back and forth, some messages back and forth, and maybe had a phone call tomorrow. They tell you, we've got a cleaning company, we're really happy at the moment. And if you just left it at that, they may forget about you. Maybe that cleaning company they have, who've been doing a good job today, in 6 months' time is doing a terrible job. They want to get a new cleaning company in. And then the office manager thinks, who do we bring in? And we need to get some quotes. This is where your content strategy can be extremely powerful, because if you're posting content regularly and that office manager is seeing your content, in their feed every day, if it's good, obviously the better the quality content, the better as well. You can, we talk about what content to post in the coaching program, but in a nutshell, the better the quality of the content, the more engaging the content, the more you can position yourself as a specialist company, the better, because it will get to us at some stage where some people in your network every day or every week are having that question. We need to get a new cleaning company in, or we want to get another quotation in. And this is where your content strategy is so important. So this is really what I just wanted to cover. I hope it makes sense. As I said, the challenge of building commercial is a very common question and challenge that I get asked about. And for me, it's all about LinkedIn. Really, really powerful. People use LinkedIn in the wrong way in many, many ways by pitching their services too early, being salesy too early. That is an automatic turn off for people. We want to try and use it as a way to build relationships. And if we're doing this consistently, having natural conversations and using our content to keep our business front of mind, what you'll find is 3-6 months down the line, the leads will start to trickle in. You'll start to get asked to provide quotes. And you do this consistently, percentage of those quotes will turn into jobs. And this is the way that you grow your commercial cleaning business. So I hope you guys found that helpful. My apologies again at the beginning for the tech issues with the audio. As I said, it was a problem with my MacBook updating the software update and muting Zoom, but hopefully you guys have heard that. So if you've got any questions either on the Facebook group or Zoom, just drop me a message now and I'll just quickly go to them. So I'll just jump into Facebook to begin with. So looks like we're all good to go here. Let's have a look at Zoom. Hey, Cynthia, hope you're well. Glad you found it helpful. So that's fine. So if you guys have got any other questions, you can either leave me a comment in Facebook or on YouTube if you're watching the recording. If you found the session helpful, which I hope you did, please, like it and drop me a comment, and if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And so you're notified of future coaching sessions as well. But as I said, LinkedIn, hugely important. We go into a lot more detail about it in my coaching program, the 7-Figure Cleaning Academy. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll also drop a link to the coaching program, what's covered in that in the comments below. So next week, we're going to talk about SEO. SEO is something I get asked about an awful lot. SEO is super important, whether you're a commercial cleaning company or if you're a residential cleaning company. SEO drives over 50% of our traffic, so it's super important. If you want to build a large 6-figure, 7-figure business, you will need SEO to be a big and primary driver of your marketing on that side. I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and I hope you have a great rest of the day and a great rest of the week, and see you guys next week. Thanks very much.